Hello. Are we live? Yep. Okay. We're good. We are live. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. Just let's get on Visual Studios. Let's just get my announcement out and we'll get started. So hopefully everyone's chilling. Share. Gotta get to it. Alright. 1 second, guys. Just for the people who may have wandered into the stream. This is my little Discord. Not many people in it. But yeah, you do get announcements. Streaming, trying to debug. What we're trying to do today is debug Vulkan. Should have had this prep, but here we are. That was a bit slow. There we are. All right. Cool. Yeah, so I thought, to give myself a little bit of motivation, You're first. Thank you for turning up, guy. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, so we are trying to debug bindless textures. I have written a lot of the code already, and I'm kind of like coming into consistent validation errors, which, it's a good thing, in the sense that it would be bad if we had no validation errors and there was errors. So, always good. But, at the same time, I kind of want to move past them. I feel like I've been on this task for like forever, even though it's been a couple of days. But, so yeah, let's see. So yeah, I'm constantly getting different errors. The other thing I'm dealing with is, should I make all my uniforms dynamic? I noticed that a long time ago I made this decision to make all my uniforms dynamic, and I don't exactly know why I did that. And I don't actually know the performance overhead of like dynamic versus non-dynamic. I mean, I know that you update dynamic kind of at runtime. That's the whole point. But yeah, it's a bit of a difficult one. So I'm struggling at the binding step. So the other thing is I'm binding this every single draw call, which seems wrong. I swear that you're supposed to bind these kind of like here. Like you bind a bindless texture kind of descriptor set handle or whatever outside of the draw calls, because the whole point of doing bindless is you have like a whole array or whatever. So yeah, I'm just going to be debugging this. I don't know if I don't know if this will be like the most invigorating live stream. I have no idea how long I'll stream for either. So yeah, let's just see. So yeah, so it's always at this point where I'm like trying to bind something. So let's just talk through this problem so everyone kind of knows what's going on. So I have a different descriptor set layout in Vulkan, set 1 at binding 0, and apparently this is a good technique to allow for 3D and 2D samplers. You kind of have them at the same binding. So they're in their own descriptor set layout, meaning that they're not going to interfere with anything else, like these two uniforms. And that, so it's kind of like, and this is just for raw images. If I want to write out to an image, kind of useful if you want to edit textures on the fly. But we'll see. We'll see if we end up doing that. This is more useful for like more future stuff when it comes to GPU-driven rendering. You want to edit textures and kind of like pass them between different shaders and stuff like that. So Yeah, so this is effectively what I'm trying to do at the moment. And yeah, I just keep coming into contact with this stuff. So the descriptor set being bound is compatible with the corresponding okay. So I feel like I've written all the code that you should do. Like I have written a bunch of code to handle updating textures en masse in a queue. It's just an array that we loop backwards through and we pop back based on what's been updated. So, you know, a classic queue. We put stuff at the top, we pop stuff at the back. Once they're updated, the uniforms, etc., and all that kind of thing are, you know, added. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just a bit jammed up trying to figure out exactly how to get this to work. Because I have the descriptor set handle. I feel like I've created it right. With the correct pool that does a different type of allocation for a descriptor set. So a descriptor set pool is allocated. We are on set 1. We are binding. It's a bindless, so it kind of goes to here. It's possible that I'm kind of doing both. Yeah, that could be interesting if that's actually happening. Like it's picking up that I'm doing this, but then it's like, why are we doing this twice? So I think if we can get away with just kind of adding this, like, yeah, we've literally got the same. Oh no, it's a different descriptor set, but we are binding this as well. Yeah, I think that might be tripping us up, actually. We're kind of like binding twice. Interestingly enough, this doesn't break for any other bind, which, you know, I'm gonna try and work this out. So if we go in here and we add a breakpoint, we'll see. Okay, so this is in here. Okay, so we're binding this. Very cool. Now, my question is, yeah, okay, so we bind twice, which is kind of interesting. I think this might be like the first problem. We're like binding this multiple times. Each time we bind the descriptor set that we get out of here, which is completely valid because it'll be different every time. We're like rebinding the same bindless one, which I think is causing some issues because like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like rebinding the same bindless descriptor. Yeah. So yeah, this is first thing I'm going to try and get rid of, or just like maybe move out to a separate function. Yeah, let's just do that. And what do we need here? We need the current pipeline. Yeah, where's that? Okay, so these aren't worked out. They're not touched in this function. We have descriptor set la da da. I mean, num list accessor in that. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely doing descriptor, you know, one at a time because there's like a list of descriptors here that we're actually going to be binding. So yeah, I don't like this. This is like, this feels like a hack. Yeah, we don't need this. So I'm going to edit this function here and then kind of pull this out into its own thing. Number of offsets. Okay, so that's going to be 0 no matter what. Number of list. This, I think, is Yeah, okay, so there's going to be one descriptor because it's bindless and we're not binding multiple. Set number, we need that. Number of offset. I think we can just say this is 0. And bind point, bind layout, bindless descriptor. Okay. Hello. Yibtag, nice to see you again. Hopefully you're having a good Sunday. This is a bit of a random stream coming out of nowhere. Hope you had a good weekend, or having a good weekend even. So what I'm doing is trying to figure out how to bind a a bindless descriptor set correctly. So we're going to be doing that today on actually I want to keep what I've just copied and pasted, put that there for a second, and grab this, and I think I'm going to simplify this interface as well, because yeah, this is assumption that we're binding at the same time of every single draw call, but I've kind of broke that assumption based on having different descriptor set layouts at different times. Yeah, I'm doing well. Yeah, thanks for asking. I was a bit kind of demotivated today, so I thought, you know what, it's always good, always keeps me productive, getting on a stream. So that's what the plan was. Yeah, so that's my plan anyway. So we want this instead. And I don't think we want this at all, really, because it's always going to be 1. Because we're not going to be pulling multiple bindless descriptor sets out. We can actually make everything part of one graphics pipeline layout. So, yeah, I'm going to delete this. That's what I'm thinking anyway. We don't need this. And I don't think we need... Oh, we don't even use that. Okay, so if bindless supported this, else we'll error out just for our own sanity. Because it should be supported. Again, I'm going to remove this idea of having like an unsupported bindless descriptor set. Bindless in this engine, sorry. Now we just need to get rid of things we don't use. So we don't use this. We don't use offset. I mean, we might have to offset correctly, but number of offsets. I don't think we offset into a bindless descriptor set. So that's the number, that's the handle. And we don't even use that. Should we though? That's the question. Because here we have kind of like the descriptor set that we extract. And then based on that, we get kind of like the guy. Whereas here we're just kind of like guaranteeing that we're using this guy. You know what? Yeah, let's simplify. We can always add that in later. There's only 1 at the moment, so why would we need to pass in any others? Right, okay. Obviously that function doesn't work anymore. But that's easily fixed. Right, so get rid of that squiggly green line. And now we have a way to bind within the interface. I mean, we could have just wrote the actual function here, but yeah, so again, we weren't even using this. So that was just bad anyway. Right. Oops. No capital letters. Bindless descriptor set, and we are on set 1. So yeah, everything's on set 2 here. This is on set 0. This is on set 1. All right, let's. I don't think this will solve the problem, but it'll at least make it. It'll decouple the bindings between the two at least. Yeah. Okay. So we are call stack wise here. Okay. So I still think we're going to error out here. Let's throw this in. Continue. So everything's fine with that. Oh, interesting. Really? Does this die on presentation? Why did that work? Usually that's, I don't know. That's surprising. I can't imagine taking that out. Okay. Oh, okay. So the bindless is fine. It's the yeah, this is the thing I've been kind of confused about. This is something I was saying earlier. I have a dynamic and a non-dynamic kind of setup, and I'm kind of confused a little bit. So this was where? This was so interestingly, we actually moved past that. So this is here. So when we are binding this descriptor set, which is the one that deals with what's this one do? I think it's the material. Yeah, this is the material. Because what we're doing here is we're kind of doing like a copy, and then we're going, all right, we've done the copy, dude. We did the copy here. We unmapped it. We have the index buffer, and then we go, okay, go. We only have a one descriptor set. Yeah, and I think why this is going a bit wrong is because I'm kind of a bit lost when it comes to setting up the when I'm setting up, what am I setting up? Yeah, this, right? This is the thing I did this morning, where I was kind of like, oh, these should be dynamic because it errors out in a different place. It says like you've set this up as non-dynamic, and then later on you write to the buffer as if it's dynamic. Originally this worked, and I'm kind of but I made some changes in the writing code. So when I'm actually writing data to these buffers to upload them to the shaders to then run, you know, whatever around here, I kind of like change stuff, which, you know, I can't run without this descriptor set because this is all the materials. This, I don't know what would render, honestly. It would probably just be black, because we'd be indexing into things that, you know, with invalid types. So I do have like uniform and non-uniform here. I remember duplicating this code a while ago. But this never worked because all right, let's just see the error that I get out of this again. Because this dies not on the frame, it dies earlier. It dies on creation. So the descriptor set type buffer is what I could do actually is, I don't know what I need here. I do have this kind of this. So this is the writing code. This is actually what gets written. But I basically go, is the descriptor set that I've just assigned here, is this equal to non-dynamic? If it's non-dynamic, then make it dynamic. So it's like every descriptor, every uniform buffer that I'm uploading, I'm saying it's always dynamic. Even though I don't, that's weird. Why is this the case? So if I just comment this out and just allow the assignment to just kind of carry through with a non-dynamic version of a uniform buffer, what happens? Okay, so we got to runtime at least. And we are dead on. Attempting to bind descriptor set 0 with a dynamic descriptor of offset 2. It should exactly match the number of dynamic descriptors. So we are dying in again here. Okay. So what was the number? Right, let's it said attempting to bind one descriptor set with zero dynamic descriptors, but the offset count is 2. Dynamic offset count. Let's see. That will be dynamic offset count. Can I just see dynamic? What's the offset count? Where are we? Dynamic count. Okay, so it's the second to last argument. We are saying that this is 2. Okay. Okay, so the type is now a uniform buffer. And I believe this is increasing this. Yes, okay, so this is increasing this. If this is like dynamic, we don't do this. Because there's an if statement here, guarding against this. Should be even... Oh, no, okay, so for each descriptor set layer that we're checking by the number of bindings. So this goes through every binding. So from 0 to X. And the... Oh, 0 to N, I should say, really. And the nth -1 could have a descriptor set binding that is a uniform buffer that isn't dynamic. All right, let's make these dynamic again. Because it looks like I'm not allowed to do that without dynamicness. Right. I'm huffing because I'm like, why did I make everything so abstract? It's confusing. So now we are being completely flat, but I think we're going to get the same error as before. Interesting. So it requires 2, but interesting. Okay, let's go into that then and allow it to increment by 2 based if it's dynamic or not. Because that honestly could be it, right? It was 2 before, now it's 0, and it's saying it needed to be 2. So let's just see if we can get that to be 2 then, when it's dynamic. Because I believe we do need dynamics, so... oops. Right, maybe... It just seemed like this needs to be dynamic. Based on the errors, I probably need to do a bit more reading. But, you know, it'd be kind of interesting. How am I structuring it? I set it up initially. So hi Ratchet. Give me a second. I'm just gonna... Right, why are we here? Give me a second, I don't even know where we are. Oh, we presented. Well, we're about to present. The present queue might just barf. I don't know. Okay, we have something, but we have interesting... Right, why would this be happening? Give me a second. Let me think. So it's clearly the textures. Okay, so the textures are at least on the right material, if that makes sense. The right thing. It could be my shaders. I could be getting everything right, but my shaders could be all wrong. They could be like trying to index into. Oh, maybe I'm completely off here. I mean, I could open up the debugger. What is it called? Render doc. And have a look. Hopefully this isn't causing any like epilepticness. I shouldn't look at the floor. So why would this be happening? It's like, let's just bind this at a different point. I'm going to bind this at a different point. And just kind of move this around. So how am I structuring your bindless setup? I will answer that. I'm just kind of like, my brain's like on overload at the moment. So, because I remember when I did this originally, I basically had one descriptor set and it was basically bound at every draw call. Because I didn't have a descriptor set layout, a separate descriptor set layout. No, it's doing the same thing again. So it looks like you're doing non-uniform descriptor access. Yes, I am. If I go in the shaders, I've got this guy, and it's possible that this is just dubious. Right, let's simplify this fragment shader like down to like one thing. Because if we simplify it down, we can see we can just say base color, and then we can just say output the base color instead of anything else. So I'll put this at the top for a minute. Base color equals this. Oops. And we're going to comment out the rest. And just see, this is just simplifying everything down. So we have one texture now, times by the factor, which is just how bright or dark something is, based on the GLTF model. Okay. Oh, hang on. I've seen that type of error before, so it looks correct. This shouldn't be a problem on NVIDIA. It doesn't care. Okay, thanks for the confirmation. Let me check I'm using the right model. I was using a compressed model a while ago. I can't remember. Is 5 the bad one? Or 6? Or I'll just go with 4 for a minute. Yeah, I tried GLTF pack off stream on the sponsor model, and I remember, yeah, the textures go weird. Hello, hope you're having a good day, man. Nice to see you again. No, okay, so it doesn't matter what we've got here. Okay, I know for a fact this is supposed to be 0, so I think, right, let's just get rid of this idea of a float being used as an index into a texture. No, this is junk. I don't know what was going to happen then. No, that's not how it works. Yeah, each texture is different, isn't it? Because each draw call has its own thing. Right, let's pull this out again. Yeah, that's not how it works. I kind of... Oh, thank you. Thank you for watching my video. Hopefully it wasn't too overloaded. I tried to condense that video. Almost was like an hour long, so I had to I had to cut so much out of it. So I very much appreciate you watching that video. Thank you very much. Right, let's pull this here. Yeah. That's the thing. It's I think later on I stopped doing this. I stopped packing things into a thanks Gandev. Thanks for watching my video. Hopefully it was informative and not that boring. Yeah, so I think render doc is an option. It's also possible that I'm getting, because I'm not using that scalar extension, it's possible that my material data is bad. I think what I should do is go to this. Yeah, this. So I write integer data into a vector, and then I try and access that via a uvec4, an unsigned vec4. But I think it's an unsigned vec. Hang on, let me just check something. I need to see what a uvec4 is, because I need to make sure that I'm not doing floats, and if I am, it's definitely a number. Okay, so no, that's fine. Okay, I thought I was doing floats. I'm not. My bad. So this is going into a float. Sorry. This is going into a vector. Oh, I'm glad you like this type of videos. I love making them, to be honest. It was a bit stressful trying to make that video. Yeah. And Gandev, you're also going down that path. Cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to do exactly what Ratchet is saying with render doc. We're going to have to... Oh, it's been a while since I booted up this. Yeah, let's update. Close render doc immediately. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, oh. Yeah. So you're doing something for Quest 2. So you're doing meshlet rendering without mesh shaders. Oh, interesting. That's really cool. So no meshlet. I wonder what that would be like. I've never thought of using meshlets outside of outside of outside of mesh shading. Oh, jeez. Jeez. I swear I own this computer. Jeez, what? Oh, my caps is on. Catches you out every time. There we go. There we go. Sorry about that. I had my caps on the whole time. Oh, I see. Interesting. So you basically generate the index buffer. Yeah, okay. Interesting. That was in Unity? Wow. Assassin's Creed Unity. Interesting. No, the more you know. So let's get this guy going in our... Huh? Why am I here? Okay. Sorry, that's my other user. I guess we have to go the long way. There we go. And documents, where are you at? Git. There we go. We're here. Cool. That's the guy we care about. Okay. Now, I'm a bit foggy on how you do this. I think you have to turn off validation layers. I'm just going to run it and just see how it behaves, and then if I have to turn off validation layers, I will. Right. I also need to. Yes. Okay. So I haven't actually set this up to run by itself. That's easy to fix. Oops. Just needs the assets and the DLL. Wow, nice. It's I've never actually read one of the Beyond books on C++, but I can imagine you're in good hands there. And it's really cool that you're working 12+ hours a day. I struggle to work even that hard, so you know, hats off to you on that. Yeah, it's fun. So the paper on GPU driven, you know what, I'll read it. Yeah, I might not have read that one. I mean, I've just never thought to even think about meshlets outside of outside of mesh shading. Okay. Interesting, so we get no textures. But in Visual Studios we get... Oh, I saved something in the fragment shader. Oh, I didn't save that? What? Give me a minute. Let's close that for a second. I'm getting just black now? Oh, yeah. Sorry, my bad. I had 0 in here originally, and I was just getting junk. Let's just do that again. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I've copied this at that bad time. So my shaders on... They get updated here, but they don't get updated in the... when I compile them. They don't get updated. Yeah, this is probably a bit of a CMake thing that I could work on. Right. But I don't think we'll be doing this for very long. So it's not that bad. Right. So we're going debug, open up this. We should see horrendous textures. We do, very nice. Now RenderDocs should be able to run this without issue, unless it wants validation layers turned off. Sure. And capture frame. We can close this now, it doesn't matter. Alright, so what have we got? What have we got? Okay. So our depth, sure. So we have a clear to blue. Yep. Yeah, let's just step through this. So interesting, the textures change between each index draw call. Wow, weird. That's really strange. Yeah, we definitely got some weird stuff going on here. Yeah, by that time we have this. It's almost like the texture coordinates are all wrong. But why would that be the case? Oh, interesting. So that's probably why I haven't come across it. So meshlets are really good for mobile. What do I want to do? I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to render doc. I admittedly don't use it as much as I should. So mesh. So if I think, okay, it's the vertices. I'm more interested in the what the texture coordinates are. I wonder, right, what I'm going to do actually, I'll come back to this in a minute. This is an investigation, but does, yeah, let me go back. Let me put in the shader that doesn't have bindless textures in, and just see if it's the bindless stuff at all. Because if it's to do with the CPU side, and if I change the shader, and it then still bugs out, then I know it's on the CPU side. It's not actually anything to do with the shader. So I'm going to do that temporarily. Yeah. Bindless. All right. And then I'm just going to go into my GitHub, and we're going to grab out our old shader. So, nope, that's not mine. So this is our project that we're working with. And I don't think I've pushed anything up to the GitHub yet. So I'm just going to grab this, and we are going to download our older fragment shader. Oh, it also needs to make the recreate the pipeline layout. That's easy enough. That's not hard to do. Yeah, so I'm just gonna actually let's. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. So I'm just gonna take this, go into here, Control A this. Right, so it's got all the horrible BRDF things back. And I just need to grab the old pipeline layout, which is not that difficult to do because that's just in one file. It's in main, right at the top. I'll go raw again so you don't copy any weirdness. This would be this. This is the only thing I need. And go back to main, go into here, find my pipeline layouts in the same place. Okay, so we should see, what did I copy? I don't even know. Right, let's just get the whole thing, otherwise I'll do something wrong. Go in here. Alright, so now we have this set up. There is some changes in here, but I'm just going to turn bindless off and just see if we get the same issue. So just false. So we should, before everything gets set up. Yeah, I had a feeling. The error is right. So it's a Stage flag was this for this binding. Oh, did I change the vertex shader as well? What did I do here? Alright, fine, we'll do that. We'll also do the vertex shader. Again, I just want to confirm that it's what side we're on. This is also fine. Just to avoid any complications on things. Where's the vertex shader? Graphics, no assets. Shh. My shaders are there. Duh. So I'm going to pull this out. Nope, pulled out the wrong one. Okay, so here we go. Going bindless. Right, okay, so now we just grab the old one from our old. What I'm not going to do is change. Hang on. Would this break the whole purpose of this? Give me a second. I need to think. What are my texture indices? So my texture indices are uploaded via this oh, I've removed it now. But effectively, it's in this material. And for each, I wonder if it's different. Okay, give me a sec. Basically, there's this guy in here. Oh, these are different. Okay. Okay, I think. Hang on. Let me think. What's the best way to tackle this? Because if I just run this, I'm going to have to like basically restore. Because these uniforms are used across the shaders, so I'm basically going to have to do this. And it's like, is this going to be the same data? I think that's fine. Also, it doesn't like this descriptor set too. So I clearly have an older setup here where I have like a on set 0 binding to is a storage buffer. It was in the fragment shader. What? I don't think there's any binding to. Let's just change this to set 1 or 0. Because I would do this anyway. I've started to do this from now on. Oops. Okay, so right. Let's just run that again. No. These are now different. These are, yeah. Roughness is X. I don't really mind if this is slightly wrong, but this is Y. And the other one, occlusion factor, is X. Where's that? Ah, we also have this now. I got rid of this. All right, let's simplify this again. Let's do a... Where's base color? If I just get the base color out. Yeah, cut this. And use base factor multiplication. So we're just going to put this here. Albedo is equal to this guy. Right. Can we get rid of that? Where's our color factor? All right. And then we're just going to go frag color equals base color. All right, and then we're just going to comment all this, just because, again, a lot has changed, but all I care about is the base color, because all we're seeing is the texture coordinates. The vertex shader, no, it's still the same error. So I'm saying in the vertex shader, right, I remember now. This is the older pipeline that I just copied and pasted over. Vertex shader. Yeah, this is now not used here anymore. I don't like this idea anymore. I'm starting to realize that I've done so much changes that it's just this is not going to work, which is fine. So we're just going to restore back to where we were and kind of just debug as we went, because I've made progress at least. The reason I'm kind of like apprehensive to do this is because I'm going to have to change the buffers as well, and I just realized that if I'm changing the buffers, then I'm kind of defeating the purpose of all this. So this was a bit of a dead end. But you know, sometimes you debug like that. Okay, so now we should be back with no validation errors, but with terrible texturing. Yeah, okay, so let's what I'm gonna do is follow what Ratchet said, and oh sorry, I misread what you said earlier, Gandev. So you're gonna be the first mobile engine to use meshlets that on mesh shading. Brilliant. Yeah, love to see it. So yeah, I'm gonna go into my, I can check this quite easily because I'm using a dynamic buffer actually. So yeah, let's just check what these indices are. So these are the indices for the effectively the basic textures. I'm just gonna, before I do that, just check if everything's lined up properly. So we have a 16, 16, and then, no, that's alignment. 64, yeah, 64, 64, 16. We have 4, but that's 4 times 4, which is 16. Yeah. So 64 and 16, fine. 16, yep, 16. We have 4 and we have 3 pads of float. So that goes 4, 12, 16 again. We have a vec 3, which is 12. Add 1 more, which is 16 again. And I think this is all aligned. I think this hasn't changed. Okay, so let's see what we're passing up. I know. I just haven't got around to it. It's one of these things where I'm just like, oh, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. So this is fine. This is what I want to see. I want to see numbers, and then maximum uint 16 basically. because I do check that in the shader. I say if it's maximum you ain't 16, skip. Let's just check the next thing. Zeros, sure. Emission should be max 16. I don't think we have any emission. Base color. Yep, I've seen that before. And then we have the roughness factors based on, yes, they're all ones for some reason. Fine. Alpha cutoff. That's something I actually hadn't finished in the shader. I might comment. No, because we're using 64. Okay. You know what I'm going to do as well? I'm going to get rid of this. This could be messing me up. I'm not entirely sure if just having this up here. Alright. We're just going to say there's texture coordinates, and we're just going to say there's tangents, no matter what. And we're going to run the fragment shader. Okay. Because if the text chords aren't there, right, sure. Right, we can skip this. Ah, there it was. So it was my flags. My flags were wrong. Oh, and we have bindless. There we go. Hi. Where did I get my start? I got my start on a Vulkan tutorial from 2016 called Vulkan-tutorial. And I just followed that exactly, and ever since then I've been struggling and trying to get better. I would recommend, if you want to start with Vulkan, I don't know if you are asking me that, to do with How to Vulkan. How to Vulkan is 2016, sorry, 2026. It's more up to date. But any resource will be fine if you actually do want to learn. So yeah, we have mindless textures. Let's see where I went wrong though with these flags. I have for textures, I just have one big descriptor set. I don't have like individual little descriptor sets to index into, you know, each texture or whatever. I just have one big one that has like multiple things in it, and then I bind that. Now I'm kind of curious as well. Can I bind this outside of here? I wonder. Oops. Or does it have to be paired roll call? Nah, that's great. Great. That's what I wanted to see. That was the whole point of doing this. Right, let's restore the shader. Wow. I'm really happy with that. I'm keeping this comment in here because I was thinking of trying to basically index into different parts of a massive index buffer rather than having an index buffer that's for paired roll call. So you're saying, so you have one, right? You use a simple free list to allocate, and you're golden. A free list. What's a free list? Are you talking about on the shader side or in C++? Right. Okay. So let's while you're into that, I'm gonna restore the. You don't have to, obviously, but yeah, let's bring back everything. So we have alpha cutoff at 0 because we're not actually dealing with that. Yeah, because I need a different graphics pipeline to do transparency differently. Okay, let's see. If our yo, we are back. Everything's a bit dark, but that just might be the, yeah, that's just the intensity of the that might be my BRDF not working very well. I don't know. Is that correct? Anyway, that's just a minor detail. Oh, on the host side, okay. So when you free a descriptor, you put the index into a list. Okay. I'll consider. I think I'm doing something like that. So if there's nothing in the free list, then you just increment the last descriptor index. Okay. Am I doing something like that? I have a... Is this what you mean when you have like a list? No, this is me accessing different descriptors, I think. I would need to come back to that. But anyway, we have bindless at the moment. We're not quite done yet. I need to check a few different things. But yeah, this is definitely a W. Even if I don't get anything else working today. What I want to do is test this for multiple models and try and figure out exactly why this went wrong. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to check multiple models and then see how bindless is handled outside of just one model with multiple textures. So you've seen it before. Let's break out the ducks. Total ducks. I think 500 is fine. At a radius of 5,000. Okay. Oh, the orientation. Why are they all black? Okay, let's just fix the easy thing. Hello? Oh. Get rid of this. I forgot. I leave that in there. I leave this in there for the sponsor. So we can comment that out. But that shouldn't... What? I'm confused. Scaled vector. Draw matrices. Maybe we need to do this here for each push constant. That's a custom container, the array. Thank you, Ratchet. Yeah, that would be awesome. You know, if you see something. Right, I've got to make sure. Hang on, I might be doing everything right here, but the radius might be so small in the fragment shader that it's not lighting up a single dock. That is a possibility. So let's just ranch it. Oh, not the intensity. Yeah, we can put the intensity at 100 and this at 1,000. We might be having the textures fine. Is there a single duck here? No, weird. I mean, I can throw this in render doc and see what it did, but all right, let's throw some render doc and see what happened. I'm gonna put this out and then we're gonna look at it. Okay, so yeah, it's yeah, okay, so that compiles. I'm gonna take the shaders. So array is part of this air quotes. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called I called it the Raptor engine. That's not right. It's the it's an open source project and it's called the Hydra engine. I don't know why this is called the Hydra engine. I don't really know why it's called an engine at all. But it's like I've modified this to my needs. It's not exactly the same, but it's effectively exactly the same. If you were to compare my Git to the Hydra engine, and the whole point is it's just got different allocators for different needs. So, you know, you can use a bump allocator if you want. You can use a scratch allocator, which is, you know, something that can release, can pop stuff off the stack in each for loop. A bump allocator would just continuously increase that on the stack. And then you have I have a library that I use for dynamic allocation, which is a double-ended queue thing. So the heap's a little different. It's pretty cool. It works. And I've also got a stack tracer, so I keep track of my memory. So if I don't deallocate something, then it yells at me at the end. Yeah, you go ahead. Honestly, it's I think it's when you're making your own game engine, it's definitely a good use case to do that. So okay, so let's have a go. Let's that's what I was doing. Source shaders. No. Where are the compiled stuff? Oh yeah, it's in build. Build. Assets in here. Textures. Yep, they're the compiled ones. And debug. Hang on, just double check something. Okay, we've established this doesn't work. So I shouldn't be using these. For now, anyway. I'm going to comment this out. These are tangents. Tangents. We're making these assumption that every model we use has tangents. I just had this idea, yeah. I've got to make sure that I'm not... Yeah, okay, so that doesn't at least crash. Where else am I using these material flags in this fragment shader? Okay, just there. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Because you know, if I boot up the... Okay, we don't need this anymore. If I boot up render doc with out-of-date shaders, then it kind of defeats the point. So... yeah. Debug. Okay, so we should launch the application. No. And capture latest frame. And close this. Okay. So our frame, clear. That makes sense, yeah. So each index draw call just, I assume, just renders more docs. Yeah, okay. So we at least see this guy. Okay. Cool. It's, wow, that's quite smart actually. 10 variables, 206 bytes needed. Ooh. Ten variables, 206 bytes needed, 224 provided. How easy is it to set up this scaling extension? Oh, this is the... Ah, no. This is the... Set 1 is... No, it's materials, it says right there. This is set 0, uniform. Yeah, so this is set 0. No even push constants. You just got to enable it. Okay. There's no shenanigans or... Alright, let's do this scalar. What is it called? I mean, I've been linked to it 1,000 times in Discord, so I can probably just go to my resources. This is our little Discord. Feel free to join. It's in the description. Where's this scalar? Scalar. Oh. What? Whatever. I thought it would just be easy to find. ext Vulkan. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Scalar block layout. It is a it's an extension. Is it part of the core? Yeah, because it's promoted, so I don't need to enable it. I just need to know which. So it's part of this, I think, right? And if I go in here, yep, that is less than useful. Yeah, that's what I want to know. Scalar. You're not here? Oh, it's probably capitals, that's why. Oh no, match case is off. Yeah, I'll just find out what struct it's in. Does anyone know offhand which struct it lives in to enable? I mean, I could like, because it's promoted to core, I just need to turn it on. Where is it? Is it in this? It must be in that one. Let's just look it up. Let's use IntelliSense. Find VK physical device. Oops. Features 2. Yes. No. Okay, so it's its own struct. Thank you very much. I thought it would be like in Vulkan, you know, those ones with 1-1 and that. Thank you, Grand Dev. So this just gives me C-like, brilliant. Winkle Tinkle, congratulations. Just built your first ever basic game in C++. Congratulations. I hope it was fun for you to make. Right. And cool. All right, that's it, isn't it? Just make the linked list. There's the end of it. Someone's okay, so is that? I didn't like that. I will it might be ext. I don't know what it is. Oh, it would help if I did the right. Yeah, this is what I get for copying and pasting code. Oh yeah, VK structure, that one. Probably don't need extension. That would help. Scalar block, blah 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 blah. Okay, so we at least know that now we are on the same rules as C. Next question is to figure out, does this change based on what we just did? And in fact, let's get rid of this align 16 stuff. And just see if we can just roll. Because, it is annoying trying to get this aligned, I have to admit. Cool. Weird though, it's just not rotating the docks. So it's like oh, excuse me, my YouTube is stopped. I mean, it's still aligned 16. Let's get rid of this padding. And I'm going to bring back sponsor just to test this extension. And we're not going to render 1,000 of these because the draw calls are a bit aggressive right now without any culling or GPU driven rendering. It kind of does no optimizations. So we're just going to go back to 1. 1 and 1 and just bring this back. I don't know why I typed 5. All right. Okie dokie. That layoutness is finished with. Yeah, I should have done that ages ago, dude. All right. So now we at least know that that is working. Okay, let's yeah, let's bring back 500 ducks again. And what I'm going to do is start checking all the ducks, right? Sorry, I'm going to check what it's writing to. So when I'm actually doing the draw call, I'm going to see what we're getting, what copy and paste we're getting. No, I don't use mobile. Don't forget to set the layout in your buffers to scalar. Oh, really? You just say scalar. I did not know this. So instead of this, right, you say scalar? Oops. Kind of like this, even in the uniforms. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with this thing, so I'm kind of learning on the fly. Hopefully that's not off-putting. Alright, am I doing the right thing? I mean, we'll see if this even compiles. No, it doesn't like that. Or I just don't use it. Scalar layout, let's see. Scalar layout, memory layout. Oops. Yeah. You know what I meant. Layouts, okay. So it has to be the first thing. Did I spell scalar wrong the whole time? Like that? No, not here, obviously, but in the buffers. Oh, and get rid of this padding. Yeah, we don't need this anymore. That might have been causing issues. I might have just spelled scalar wrong over and over again and rushed ahead. Okay. Let's see. No. Oh, it needs the extension. Okay. Extension required. Okay. Extension. I should have read the error instead of immediately jumping. That's how you do it, right? Let's require, not enable. Alright. Let's build. Alright, cool. So there's no silliness now with, what is it? Alignment. Okay, so I'm going to turn off intensity as well, just for now anyway. So all this is doing is setting up the lighting. I'm just going to set it to be uniform. This and this breaks in one place. There. You smart enough? No, you're not. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. Okay, so now we know 100% that we're not dealing with any 16-byte aligned silliness. Yeah, thanks. You can actually be anywhere. Cool. So let's just Sorry, I'm gonna have to go back and check that. No, I'm fine. I believe it works. Okay, so the question is, when we are actually copying and pasting the GPU data up to our shaders, what are we actually getting? Because we could be getting like uint 64 or something. 3. So it's just color for this, which is fine. And if I 3, 3, 3, okay. It's always 3. So in our fragment shader, which is when we actually index through these, this should be 3 every single time. And I am going to lazily comment out everything again, because it's possible that because we don't have any metallic, we don't have any all this kind of mixing or whatever, we end up with just black because the textures that we get out aren't good or whatever. So let's just see if base color, if I just get the base color out of this texture, are we good? And if it's good, then we know that this particular problem, I'm doing something bad in the shader when there's no physically based rendering materials. So yeah, let's see what that does. So hopefully we get actual ducks. Yes. Okay, so that was what was happening. Still, why are they all facing the same direction? The duck at Marder. Da, 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 da. All right. So it's our fragment shader. That's the issue, which is good. Okay, we've made progress. Effectively, we are in a situation where if we don't have, we have base color. And roughness, I'm wondering if, I think what's happening is we're getting like a multiply by 0 or something like that anyway. Because if these are 0, let's just see. So we don't have this texture. We don't have, yeah, that's what I'm scared of. I'm scared that we're going to get, we're basically multiplying by 0 somewhere because we don't have the textures that have been loaded in. When it comes to our physically based rendering PBR thingy, which I know is not ideal. It could be improved, but I need to study more the maths, to be honest. What I should do is just comment out things, I think, bit by bit, and kind of have like a fragment. So our material color is the last thing that gets copied. If this is... So what I'm going to do is kind of say, we've got to assume something is multiplying by 0. And what how I'm going to debug this, I need to, there's too many commented out things now. Yeah, I'm just going to work backwards. I'm just going to say, we're not going to do a Fernal mix. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this until we get something that comes out with color instead of black. So let's compile. We should see black. Yep. And then we can see where I've gone wrong. And yeah. So the first thing is to kind of go here. Material color, vec4. Yeah, let's copy this line. So the last piece of mixing is it's got material color twice. I noticed that the occlusion, the AO and the occlusion factor were basically, I think I was doing the same thing twice. Anyway, Okay, so no, we still have things there. So I'm going to be quite careful here. And the specular, let's just do specular. Yeah, let's just so visibility, what's specular do? Base color. Infernal mix, metalness. This is what I'm thinking, right? If I set this to 1, like it has something in it. 1.0. This might be it, right? I'm just kind of curious because it has no metalness. No, okay. Yeah, okay. Let's go back to our original plan, and we are going to take this in here. Comment out this. No. Okay. Interesting. So it might be the visibility. Alpha. What is alpha? Roughness power of 2. If this is 0. That is 0 to the power of 0. Isn't it just 0 times by 0? 0 squared. 0 over this is 0. 0 over something is 0. Distribution, multiply that by 0. Then we get 0, 0. And then we multiply everything by 0. That would match. If our roughness is 0, then yeah, everything just kind of falls apart. No, I just set this to 1. So 1 to the power of 2, whatever. Yep, okay, that was it. So now we need to decide what to do. When roughness doesn't exist. These look awfully dark, but I is the lighting? I'm just gonna go to a different like. Yes, I think this is correct. I'm just checking the lighting direction makes sense. Yeah, okay, so the light is in the middle of this area. It is dull, very dull. I think the roughness of being 1 is kind of... Okay, okay, so models that have no roughness, what do I do? Now let's bring this back in. Right. It's funny this worked before. Completely fine. So the roughness factor is new. It's the Y component of this thing. If I go to my main function, and so color factor is fine. This though is not. So the roughness, so X and Y. X is roughness, is that right? Is that what I wanted? Y is roughness. And I'm saying X is roughness? Yeah, that's backwards, right? Yeah, that's wrong. I'm saying metallics roughness here, and I'm saying thingy roughness in this shader. This might be it. This might be that's the quick fix. So let's just double confirm this. So roughness there, and then we have the shader. Y is roughness, not X. X is metallic. All right. Yo, that was the problem. I was treating... That looks way better as well. I for some reason was assigning metal to roughness and metal to roughness and roughness to metal, causing an issue. All right, another W, or worse, a nan. Yeah, not a number is also a bad issue. I am guarding against textures that don't exist, but I think the factors was what I was getting wrong. Let's just check occlusion. I know occlusion is kind of floating around here somewhere. Occlusion is Z. Let's just make sure that's not silliness either. Let's see. Dot Z. Are you occlusion? Yep, your occlusion scale. And this only happens if else it's 1. Alright. Yeah. Cool. I am going to, now that is working, I'm kind of curious about something. Now, the occlusion factor is what AO used to be. I wonder what that does. Oh, that wouldn't do anything because it's just 1 times thingy. I would need to use sponsor. Okay, kind of curious. Hang on. Is that what I wanted? I think it's scale. Oh no, it is that. Okay. And the texture is that. Yeah, let's load in sponsor again. I know I really shouldn't be debugging textures at the moment. I'm kind of, this is just more of a side tangent. I next need to debug why everything's facing the same direction. I know why. Yeah, this is not good. This is very specifically caster float here. I kind of like took this out of here and I was kind of like, I'll just do this. I reckon that's it. I think it's ignoring rand on the angle. Oh. That's not good. Angle. What's the angle? Is it infinity or something? Oh, hang on. No, I didn't change that. Oh, I'm loading in sponsor. Yeah, sponsor is, it does not respond very well to being loaded 5,000 times. Say 500 times. Let's put the duck back in. Yeah, okay, that was it. That was why. So now we have like orientated ducks, as they should be. It's a bit dull, but I think that's just the light I've used. I think I would need to like ramp up the intensity quite a bit. Cool. Wow. Okay, so we are debugging something else. We are now looking on a side tangent to go into the textures to see if sponsor will work with this in the BRDF. This is more of an experiment. I need to study, what is it called? The physically based rendering better. So, oh yeah, I've turned off intensity. Ah, okay. So the reason it was so okay. I thought I had the right. Sorry. I thought I had the intensity on. I had the intensity off, so I was making changes to the lighting that made no sense. Oops. Sorry. That will do it. I forgot to turn it back on. Here. Okay. There we go. That's nicer. I want to load the duck scene up again just to see the difference now. But I am testing this just for a minute. I think we might be getting 1 times again. Yeah. I think we're getting like literally 1 times the occlusion factor, so that this isn't really tested. Okay, I'll leave this here just for now, just to remind myself. Okay, let's load up the ducks and with the actual correct lighting and everything, because I am kind of curious like what that looks like. And yeah, we should see something. Wow, I'm so happy that we got bindless. Honestly, this has been like a massive weight off my shoulders. I feel like I've been stuck on bindless forever. I've been writing so many notes in Obsidian, like like every day. I've been like, I think I spent 5 hours once just writing. I didn't even code. I just kind of wrote notes for 5 hours straight on Vulkan and things like that. So you know, this is nice. Oh yeah, so I'm trying to render 500 ducks again. Oh, where are they? Total ducks. $5,000. And we need to change the intensity. Fragment shader. Again, I will have this like up. So intensity, I only want intensity 100, range 1,000. Because I want to see all the ducks. Whoa. Okay, so that's realistic. In a sense, if there's one light in the scene, like these should be basically black. Alright. That doesn't look that much better, but, you know. Kind of overblowns these. Again, Reinhardt tone mapping in a proper frame graph would be nice. But yeah, that is a W though, I have to admit. I'm gonna push this up, I think. Oh no, we wanted to investigate this, didn't we? If we've got a bit of time. I'm not sure how much time I've got left, to be honest. But let's just see if we can get something done. So this was wrong. These didn't work at all. So we had junk being passed up to the fragment shader. On the vertex shader. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what fitting cam I'm using for the lighting, but I'm sure I can improve it. We also have this, which I haven't tested. Okay. Let's just see. I turned off bindless for this because it just kept dying over and over again. I wasn't that interested. Now we get validation errors. Okay, so we're still not out in the woods yet, but yeah, I'll come back to that. I think. Oh, this might be quite easy to fix actually. This is. Oh no, it's set 1. Oh yeah, we need to go scalar in here. Alright, what was I doing? Oh, I'm getting distracted. Yeah, I'll come back to IMGUI. IMGUI is less important. I don't really care that much about it being bindless or not, but I do want to get rid of the shaders that I wrote. I want to dump that out. That would just be nice, just to reduce the amount of code. Okay. Because I could just repeat what we did here. What was I even doing? Oh, yeah. Why are the flags busted? So 92. I think it's 92. So these get all together. So let's just see what that should be. This is a programming calculator. Oops. I just want it a bit bigger. So in binary, we have 64, which is 0. $64 or how do you or on this? Bitwise operation or 1 0 0 0. This is 32, right? 32, yes. Equals 96. That is correct, I think. So I should see 96 in these flags when I'm uploading the data. And if I don't, then I'm being extra careful because this, I don't know why this doesn't work. 64. Oh, hang on. That I think because we don't have tangents, we just have texture coordinates. Okay, that's way easier to deal with. Texture coordinates 64. Yeah, okay. So when I say in a, does it make sense? To assume that a model can have no textures? No, yeah, that makes sense because the thing is with no textures, we want to have like a dummy texture, right? But that means it always says texture coordinates, no matter what. Yeah. Yeah, because base color will always be... Yeah, okay, so in the fragment shader, we're always doing something. We always guarantee we have to have a texture because this exists on the first line. Like, we don't do any guarding against there's no textures in the fragment shader anymore. Oh, right. Okay, so GLTF models must have one texture. Must have, so they at least must have at least texture coordinates. So they need, okay, so I can always guarantee if I'm using GLTF files, which I will. I'm not going to deal with any other file format. If I do get a file format, like, I will just open up Blender and convert it to GLTF, or at least that's what I plan to do anyway. Okay, so I can always guarantee that, yeah, cool. And I can probably do that with, I know this doesn't have a texture in the sense that there's no texture. Rigged model is a model that does have animation, but it has no, it's like the simplest thing ever. Let's Let's just see how this is handled. So it has 0. It doesn't have texture coordinates according to its data. But yeah. What is this? Is that getting further away or what? Hang on. Can I speed this up? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. So this is black because it's like miles away from the sun, the light, the sun. Okay, so yeah, everything's kind of working fine. We don't have any textures, but we at least have some texture coordinates to deal with. Cool. I'm happy with that. We saw it grey. I don't know why there's 2 of them. It seems very strange, but oh, I remember this. Yeah, because the models are so small. The radius, like, you have to like reduce the radius. I remember having to debug this. Yeah, there you go. So the models are absolutely tiny. It's kind of like a weird horror experience. Okay, cool. In that case, I'm going to say that we don't need to worry about texture coordinates then, ever. We just don't have that issue ever. Tangents, on the other hand, I'm going to bring in like more flags later on, but because we don't need to communicate to the shader anymore. Text chords. Alright, I'm happy with that. Oops. So tangents. Delete this. Because yeah, not all models, 100% I know that, well, not all models have tangents. And that's hard to check because I don't think I do anything with tangents at the moment. It's not like I do anything at all with them. Yeah, I literally don't do anything with them. Let's just check that. V tangents. If I see like only an in. Oh no, that's a lie. Okay, so we have this. What does that do? It builds up this. That is used in a texture when it's not. Okay. Right. Tangents. Let's bring this back in out of curiosity. Let's load ducks and just see if the tangent buffers make, the tangent computation makes any sense. Because we actually are calculating tangents. Texture coordinates. Yep, don't care. So if we don't have tangents, then we calculate them in the shader. I just want to see if that makes any difference to the... So ducks is a super... Ooh. Yeah, that's some horrendous... gross Eldritch horror of rubber ducks. Let's increase the size. A new indie horror game. 2027. The duckening. Alright. So 5,000. Have I recommended to do that? Okay, so there's no difference as far as I can see. I would have to kind of profile this and just see how expensive this is. It's possible that I don't know how expensive to do partial derivatives are. We don't calculate. I don't know. I literally have no idea. I just wonder if it's slower, like visibly, without that. And that's why we get the jittering. Oh, they are free. Okay, cool. I was kind of nervous. Yeah, okay. I'm kind of curious, actually. Let's, wonder if the jitteriness is just Visual Studio's. Let's build a release build real quick. And just see how that behaves when I'm floating around in space. Ah, okay. Actually, I should cancel that. We already have the DLLs. Okay. Oh, I might not have the models. Hang on. Yeah, I think the assets aren't up to date. I think it's literally just... I don't need to copy everything though. This. Delete that temporarily. Bring in this. Yeah, there we go. Oh. That's not good. I mean, we could turn off validation errors, but I have my validation layers here completely fine. Let's see if I can catch that. Is it a validation error? Is it? What is that? Oh. What? Am I running the right thing? Build, release. Alright, let's just delete this and just see if it kind of... Oh, thank you. So you just written a nice thing. Oh, thank you very much. That's going to be really useful. That's going to go straight into my notes. Because that's effectively what I want to do. I do want to do this eventually, where I just... Because there's some non-bindless stuff in the shader, in the engine at the moment, but if I can just like roll it all together, that'd be king. Yeah, so I'm just gonna rerun this. No, it's... Please don't close. Ah, okay, so that's saying 7. I know what that is. Wait, do I still have the... Binding 7? What's binding 7? Oh, I'm an idiot. I also need to update the shaders. That would help. I forgot that they don't automatically get copied. Oh, that's frogged. Yeah, that would do it. Yeah. Okay, so up-to-date shaders and release. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just gonna spin around a lot just for a minute. Yeah, there is some jerkiness, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure what that could be. It's not as bad. Okay. Yeah, oh yeah, I've been seeing buffer device addresses and all that kind of stuff. Is that the buffer heap? No, it's not. It's the thing. It's I've seen it in the Vulkan tutorial, the new one. Yeah, so we still get jitteriness, but I know this is a really bad tool to debug, but whatever. I mean, it could be the profile. It could be all sorts of things. I need to strip that out. Oh, that's just buffer pointers. So buffer device address is better than buffer descriptors. Right, okay. More homework. My notes will ever increase in size. Okay, I'll come back to this. Okay. For now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this like a massive W. I'm going to push this up to... Is there anything else I want to do quick? Let's just clean up and then push. And get rid of this for now because it's complaining about it. We'll just let it die in its way. We've got that. We've got GPU device. We've got so much code to push. So most of this was written off stream, as I am trying to be diligent every day with what I'm doing. Let's just see. Yep, I think we're good. And yeah, I'm just going to push this and probably end it here, guys. We have succeeded massively. And yeah, no complaints. I might integrate this. This needs to be integrated. So for now, I'll move this out. Let's just see. It's cut. I'll move this out for a minute because that's not going to be useful. That's just going to be a dead file that never got used. All right. Sick. Git status, git add. Go. We got, I'll say we because it was help. Bindless working for the engine and not IAM-GUI. Yeah. Don't need to be push. Oh, that's a nice push. We haven't pushed in ages. All right. This is a bit of an impromptu stream, so I'm gonna have to leave you guys here. Thank you for anyone who's turned up and anyone who watched. Oh, sorry, Emo. Just about to end, but I'll answer your question. Yes, I do have a CMake script that copies things, but it only copies things to here. It doesn't copy things to the here, because that would just take forever. and I don't do it that much, so that's why. But there is CMake code that does do that. There is a copy and paste CMake script. So that is a thing. But anyway, yeah, thanks for joining in and helping me out with things and just keeping me company. I hope you guys have a good weekend and a good rest of the week, and I'll hopefully see you soon. So bye.